record. Okay, again, like, so in this, so welcome guys. In this tutorial, I'll explain you how to do forward fill, backward fill, and removal of non-variables, and also doing some joining of 2-3 data frames. So yeah. So in the last class, I explained you whenever you are receiving data from stock data, sometimes it might happen that you stop receiving the data, and at that interval you will have no data. So how do you fill that data? So basically you can do either forward fill, backward fill, or you can do some kind of linear interpolations. So while you're doing linear interpolations, you are just peeking into the future. That means you are just assuming that in future it will be a linear interpolation between your point and some other point, but you don't know what is the other point, right? So you are just picking in the future and telling that the other point will be this, but you shouldn't do that. And in the backward fill also, you are taking the other point and then you are picking into the future. So you are just doing backward fill from the second point, and that means you are picking into the future. And so that's why you only do forward fill, because in that case you don't know what will be the second point, and you are not, hence you are not picking into the future. So that's why we do forward, backward, or normal line, so linear interpolation. So for our case, we might not have such kind of data. So for that, we'll create some similar data. So let's just copy the data. How to copy? Yeah. So let's just read the pandas. Import pandas, and after that let us just read the CSVs. You can see the CSV head, so it has open, hide, low, close, and volume. So yeah, and what we'll do, we'll just shift the value, and from the end. So we'll shift the value from the end, and yeah, so that will make a NaN value in between. So that will help us in understanding. Okay, so let's take this data frame, and we'll take 100 values, and we'll do shifting. We'll do shift by -10. So this basically, will shift the data by -10, and you can see there is no data here. So what do you basically do in this case? You will do a forward fill. So yeah, so you will take this data frame and save it as pristine data. Data error. I mean the error data. So that's what we are doing, and we are storing in this instead of plotting this and doing close. We are just shifting the value and putting it in data error. So if you do the data error dot tail, you'll receive that the end data will be none. So this 5 of this data will be none. So if you do data dot 10 20 tail 20, see, you will see the last 10 datas are none. So how do you fill this data? So it's very simple. You have to do forward fill using fillNaN. So fillNaN is a function which can be used for doing forward fill. So you are just taking panda.fillNaN, and you are just doing a forward fill. So basically you can do data error fill now. So fillNaN takes 2 elements. One is method, what type of NaN fill up you want to do. So it's forward fill. So yeah, so you have to put FFIL, so forward fill. And the second element is whether do you want to replace you want to replace the previous data frame, that is data error. So in that case, you have to put in place equal to 3. If I do false, then this won't be replaced. So in case I do false, so basically if I do false, this will not come into effect, and unexpected argument in place. Okay, it is not in place, it is in place. Yeah, so basically when I do false, now you do a tail, you will see it won't be filled up. So you will see that close elements are not filled up. So that means your graph will still be, let's draw your graph. So let's take this data error dot. Okay, so you see it won't be filled up until and unless you do in place equal to through. So in case you are doing in place equal to through, it will actually fill that. It will actually fill that. So you can see it has filled that, and it has done a forward fill. Now in case you want to do a backward fill, so basically if you want to shift it by 10, and you will see that data error dot plot, if you the forward data won't be there. So you can see that the forward data is not there, and you can see the first 10 data is not there. What do you do in such cases? In such cases, wherever the initial data are not there, you do a backward fill. So in all the other cases, you can do the forward fill, but in case of the initial data is missing, you have to do backward fill. So that's the funda behind this, and this is where you can do multiple interpolations, or you can use machine learning model to do interpolations. But for stock market, you generally you have to compute it in a seconds. So you don't do some kind of model interpolations. You just do some kind of forward fill. So that's it. So that's the meaning behind forward fill and the backward fill. So this is forward fill, and here you can see it is a backward fill. So in this case, you are doing a backward fill. In this case, you are doing a forward fill, and there is a jump. So there is a forward fill and there is a jump. So yeah, so that's how you handle those datas. And what is a drop now? So basically right now, if you see, it will be forward filled. Okay, so you can see it is forward filled. Okay, all right. So basically I have not done in place equal to through B fill. So you can see it starts with 0 and it does a forward fill, and you will see it will be filled 319.80 and it will be filled below before that. So yeah, next thing is fill na, drop na. So what is a drop na? Basically drop na is it's you are dropping the NaN variables in case you have any NaN variables or your variables are not defined. So NaN means a not defined. Okay, so that means your variable, that value is not defined. So in case you are having a NaN variables, you have either two options. You can do forward fill or you can drop that variable, right? So in other case, I'll drop the variable. So I'll take this data. So you can see here that I'm doing a drop now. Where is that? Okay, see, I'm doing a drop now. So basically I'll do here also. So if in place works, yeah. So if I do this, okay, it didn't drop. even though I did in place. So you can see the initial values are deleted because I mean that values had NaN. So that values are deleted and this is known as the fill na. So sorry, drop na. So you are just dropping the NaN variables, and it works when you know that those NaN variables are not that important and you just want to delete all those NaN variables. So in that scenario, you do a drop na. So the next thing is df1. So the next thing is join. So what do you do to join? So yeah, we'll understand what is the meaning of join. Uh, Joining means you are, so basically joining means you are doing intersection of or union of two tables. So either you are, so how can be left here, right? Outer union or inner intersection. So you are doing an inner join. So that means you are intersecting those table that only the common, if you consider two, I mean, two sets of table. So how do I explain that? So let me take a word explanation. Google. Let's understand this. Uh, mm, so if you consider, okay, let's take this pen. Okay, if you consider this as a set of first table and this is a set of second table, and if you want to, sorry, so basically if you want the intersection of both of this, so you can do intersection or a union. So if you're doing union, you will receive this. Okay, so if you're doing union, you are receiving this. That means you are doing an outer join. So this case is known as the outer join, where you receive everything. And the case of other things, so if you are taking two circle and you are taking this thing, or the common of both the table, this is known as an inner join. So you are doing either an inner join or a outer join. So yeah, so these are the two types of join you can do, whether it is a left or a right join. So what is the meaning of a left and a right? So either what table you are prioritizing. So you are taking df1 and you are doing join with df temporary and you are doing a right. So basically you are keeping this as a priority. So that's how you do this joining. So let's do a joining. Uh, let's join using this timestamp. So joining is not that difficult. You just have to understand that you are just merging two tables that will help you in understanding the data properly. So basically, let's take an example of stock data. So let's take, I want to, I want to just, I just want to compare the prices of SBIN data. So let's consider the prices of SBIN and also the Tata Steel or also the Tata. So, okay, Tata is not there. Tata Steel is there. So basically Tata Steel. So yeah, so let's take these two data and I just want to compare the prices of these two data. So how do you compare these prices? So you just take SBIN is equal to SBIN close. You create a new df. So uh, close data of sbin is equal to sbin close, and close data of data still is data still close data. So basically I'll paste this, and this I'll paste this. So you are creating a new close table. Okay. So we have to create a new pandas. Resume recording. Yeah. So basically here you can see that we can do two types of joining, that is inner join or the outer join. And what are the importance of those joining, because we just want to know what is the we want to merge these two. So this is showing me error because I'm not created this close data frame. So panda dot data frame. So I have to just pass in, and your data frame is created. So close dot add. So yeah, so as you can see that this thing is okay. All right. So I'm not explaining you with this example. I have already done. So once I'll remove this. So I just want to merge these two data frames. So SBI, and I'll take timestamp. Let's consider this timestamp, and I'll close this, and we'll close this. So yeah, so you can see that timestamp is, so this is a very bad example of showing the merging, but yeah, I'll show you the idea behind that. So basically you just creating a pandas data frame where you have the timestamp and the SBI's close value. Now you just want to merge this close value with Tata Steel's close value. So I'll take this Tata Steel, and what I'll do, I'll just join them. Join. So Tata Steel. So you have join. So basically you can see there, I'm doing a join. So index call equal to date. So why I'm doing this join? So wait 1 second. Okay, so yeah, so if you do a join, it will automatically take, yeah, so you have to give this column x equal to, no, so, okay, so I'll show you the documentation here. It is not written in a proper way. df join. Yeah, so if you go to the documentation, you'll understand. You can data frame series. So first thing is like, what are you joining that? So your close thing is a left data, and the Tata still is the right data. So you are joining left data with right data. So right now you are taking this close and joining that with Tata still. And on what basis you are joining? So the next element will be on what? So you have to give timestamp. So on the basis of timestamp, you are joining that. So you can see that, yeah, okay, but no suffix timestamp. Columns overlap, but no suffix timestamp. Suffix index d type object. Okay. All right. So what is the issues in that? Mm. Okay, so that is a very bad idea of joining this. So let's see other thing. So what shall I do? Okay, let's try out this thing. So basically you have SBI and Tata data. So yes, you just have the timestamp and you just want to join this thing with Tata or the SBIN. So SBIN. So basically it should join. Ideally it should join, but I don't know why it is not joining. So on none. So on. Okay, all right. I don't know what is the issue with this. So I'll tell you the idea behind join is like you are taking two data frames. So basically, if you have this data frame where you can see key equal to K0, K1, K2, K3, K4, it's K of it is index and A equal to A0, A1, A2, A3, A4. And one more is there key equal to K0, K1, K2 and B equal to B0, B1, B2. So you can do, so yeah, so you have to give suffixes. So, okay, other R suffixes df dot join key, all right, key caller. Okay, so you can either join by this way also, by setting timestamp as an index. That means this timestamp is the primary key. So you can consider, but by setting this timestamp as a primary key. Okay, so let's take this timestamp as a primary key, and then we will take this timestamp as a primary key. Let's hope that this joins. Yeah, and you can see it is joined. And now you can see the close data. You will see a timestamp is there, and then SBIN is there, and open high low close data of Tata still is there. So yeah, no. I mean, this is the same of SBI. So I'll do the Tata still. So this is the close value of SBI, and this is the close value of Tata Steel. So that's how you are joining two data frame. One data frame I just created, and the other data frame is the Tata Steel data frame, and you are joining it. So that's how you do a joining using the indexes. And there are other way of joining, like you can join. Okay, so you have to first set the key index as that timestamp. That then only you can actually join it. That's why it was throwing in issues. So initially, what I did was kind of joining it without any index. So it's like a primary key in databases. So index is just a primary key. So if you are not converting your indexes into timestamp, you can't use timestamp for joining. That's why what we did on, whenever we did on key. So with timestamp, if you want to join, so it doesn't join because the timestamp isn't a primary key. So later on it actually joined, and now if I do, so None of the timestamp are in the columns. Okay. Okay, all right. So basically, fine. I'll explain. I'll clear out this doubt tomorrow, and I'll explain about this. But yeah, so basically, joining means you are joining two datas, and you can either do by creating a key, setting an index. So yeah, okay. So either this. So setting an index. One. Wait a minute. Just a second. I'll check this out. On key. Okay. Yeah. All right. Ideally remove this. Okay, it doesn't work. Fine, it doesn't work. That's light only. Anyway, you know how to join using index, right? So just convert your value using index, and so yeah. So I'll check on this doubt, and I'll explain you proper way in tomorrow. And yeah, this join is really important when you are doing. So right now you can see it has joined, and there are other example. I'll most probably take out 3 or 4 example, and I'll explain you tomorrow itself. Yeah, but yeah, joining is very important, and in future it might be useful. So all right, so we have done the joining part, and these all are explanations of. Okay, this is all are not necessary. Data. Okay, this is institution. Okay, all right. So that with join, you are actually done with the pandas and numpy. The important part is already explained. So NumPy, you can do this many things. Also, there are other things in this documentation. You can go and check it out. So yeah, I hope this last 3 tutorial gave you an idea behind Pandas. And I'll give you a tutorial today. So I'll give you each one of you a data set, daily data sets, and you have to do some kind of analysis. And each one of you will be given a analysis type, like just like you have to create a Bollinger Band or some other bands, you have to create momentums or whatever it is. So I'll give you the task and you have to submit it. So this, by doing that task, you will get an idea how to use these pandas. And pretty much all the important part is explained. Yeah, one important things which I didn't explain was apply functions. So what is this apply function? So this is the most used thing in Pandas. So in Pandas, the way the Pandas works is like it converts your functions into some kind of C++ code, as I have already mentioned. So that's why whenever you write functions, it doesn't. So you write a function, right? So you just want to print this volume. So if you write it like for I in data frame, print that. So I in close dot iterate rows index comma j. So if you want to print that, you can do either by this. So either you can do by this I and j. What does this signifies? Okay, I'll explain in tomorrow by properly. But for now, I'll explain you that this I and j, what is doing? They are just uh, iterating through this entire data frame. That's why it is taking time. Let's just stop it. But then the right way of doing this is not by doing this loop. There is one other way of doing this. It's like, first of all, you define a function. This is the item. So basically you are just defining a function and then you are just doing close dot apply. So that is much more faster than the previous one. So yeah, this is a apply function and these are faster than a normal functions. And instead of iterating through entire row, you are just doing some kind of parallel processing. And yeah, this apply is a kind of a it's a kind of a it's a kind of a way of running the functions, which is much more faster than running a normal functions. So it immediately run, right? So I'll explain about this apply function, then I'll explain about the iterate rows and also the join tomorrow at the same time. And yeah, all right, then bye. So after tomorrow, I'll give you a tutorial and you can actually, so tomorrow maybe I'll be keeping the class on morning. So because tomorrow is Saturday and I hope you guys are free. So we'll see up tomorrow. Bye then. All right.